What's up, guys? Welcome to our flight today. I just realized that on my thumbnail I still have the 737 as the aircraft, which it is not the aircraft we're in today. We are in the Aerostar 600 is what we're going to be flying in. We're going from Louis Armstrong here in New Orleans to Tallahassee, Florida is where we'll be going today. My first time actually flying this airplane on a flight. I've been wanting to fly this aircraft, so this gave us a reason to do so. And if you look in the description, you'll see exactly what we have going. But we're doing a Turtles Fly 2 mission from that organization. We're going to be transporting 2 turtles to Tallahassee, Florida with its caretakers. If you've read the mission... Yo, what's up, Caleb? Welcome in. The mission, again, is to move 220-pound turtles. So we're going to be at just about max takeoff weight in this aircraft. Getting out of here, we're going to have about 825 pounds of fuel that we're taking with us. And aircraft looks good. It's a soupy day today. It's very overcast here in Louis Armstrong. We have, I think, ceilings at around 1,500 feet to 1,800 feet, if I'm not mistaken. And the tops are looking to be around 4,500 feet. We're going to be cruising at 9,000 feet. And the flight time is going to be about an hour and 40 minutes, I think it is. Hour 45 minutes block time. Actually, block time 2 hours 18 minutes. We got an alternate today because it's going to be overcast. IFR down at 900 feet in Tallahassee. Minimums there for the airport, for the runway we're planning for, is showing 400 feet. So we'll be able to get below that overcast layer, hopefully, and land. But if not, we'll be diverting to Montgomery, Alabama. Is going to be our diversion airport in case we don't make it. So let's hop in so we can get some things going. I feel like I'm shooting. Alright, that looks fine. Alright, let me see. I don't think we can upload anything here to see like the yeah, there's not much we can see here on this, so can't really show you guys the flight plan, but let's get some things going here. Gotta remove some of the outside stuff. Oh, wheel chocks, everything's already off. So we are good there. It says flight info, but yeah, not much going there. Let's go over checklist. Alright, before engine start, pre-flight will say completed. Our passengers are on board. Let's see, like I said, it's in the description of the stream here. But let me bring that up anyway, just to show you guys what we got. Actually, let's also talk to let me see if I gotta turn off some people here. Switch these back on. Hello, operations Compassion Flight 4219. Can you give us a rundown of what we have today? This should help.
Good morning, Hatchet. Today we're transporting 2 sea turtles, Snapper and Hawksbill, from New Orleans to Tallahassee for rehabilitation. We've got Israel Aguirre, Tyler Leite, and Janier Tyree on board to assist with the turtles. Everyone is all set and ready to go.
Alright, sounds good. So that's what we're doing now as far as payload goes. We got 970 pounds of payload, myself, and then the 3 passengers. And then our 2 turtles are in the baggage compartment. And max baggage weight is 240. And we're right at 240, but works out for us because it keeps us within CG for this flight. This aircraft can hold 166 gallons of fuel. We're not going to be taking all of it. today we're just taking about 825 pounds of 993 pounds. Otherwise, we'd be overweight. And max takeoff weight is 5,500 pounds. We got total weight of 5,492. And that keeps us under max takeoff weight. And landing weight will already be less than that, but we're going to be flying the Aerostar here. And the way the Aerostar works is it's fed from the wing tanks to the fuselage tank, which holds 41 gallons. Each wing tank holds 61 gallons of fuel. So all we'd have to do is turn our fuel flow on to the on position. We shouldn't need to cross feed for any reason. If we do, we'll keep an eye on our fuel for that purpose. But other than that, we shouldn't have to deal with that. We'll keep an eye on everything here. Also, this aircraft has nose wheel steering too, but it's kind of difficult to use here, so we're not. I turned that off in the settings, so we'll use our rudder pedals today. We got a GTN 750 and a GTN 650, then a JPI fuel monitor as well. So let's get the aircraft on, and then we'll start going from there. And try to get out of here on time. Try to get over there before it's time for me to go to work. All right, so passengers are briefed. Seatbelts aren't secured. We'll go ahead and get the cabin door closed, because we got to close this door before we start the airplane. Let's get that closed. It is loud out there. And hopefully the audio is going to be good enough to make sure you guys can hear me. Alright, cabin door, battery is off, gear switch or gear handles in off, a down position. Flaps are up, which you can't tell by here because the battery's off. Brakes tested, flight controls are free and clear. We'll check that again on the taxi out and run up. Parking brake is set, which is this handle here. Switches are all off. Battery is off. We'll get it turned on so we can test some things just to make sure. We got 3 green for the gear handle, and flaps are showing up. Gear lock is on. Elevator rudder is neutral, which we can see from down here. We got rudder and trim is right at 0, and hydraulic is open, which is our switch here. Where's that switch? Right here. Which is supposed to stay open from what I've read on the manual. Unless there's a failure on the right engine from what I'm told, then we'd close that hydraulic valve. Fuel checked. Where's our fuel quantity? Oh, up here. And we see we got our fuel quantity in there. Looks normal. Low fuel warning is off. Circuit breaker is in. Our circuit breakers are in, which our circuit breakers are all over here, and we know exactly where our main 2 circuits are for the autopilot and the trim. Those are our main 2 things. We know where those 2 switches are in case we get runaway trim or the autopilot starts acting strange. Then that's what we're dealing with. We know exactly where those circuit breakers are. Altimeter and clock is on. It's 9:14 here right now. And we're going to try to get out of here. Alright, engine start props is full forward. Mixture is cut off. Throttle will crack it slightly. Battery's on. Low fuel warning is off. Fuel selector, we'll get that set to on. Oops, on and on for the left tank. And let's see, right fuel boost pump on. We'll get it turned on now. Then right mixture is full, and we make sure we get a fuel flow out of it. So we'll send it up. And we see that increase in the fuel flow there on the right engine. And off. And then we'll richen the mixture as the engine starts. So we'll start the right engine. We'll go, if we had a window, we'd yell out clear prop. Beacon lights on, nav lights on. Let's start the right engine. Get her to start. Alright, there we go. We got number 1 started. Get the right alternator on. We got fuel flow. We'll check. Let's see. RPMs need to be at around 1,000. A little bit too high on that. Alright, we got good flow, and things look good there. Alright, let's start number 1. And also give boost pump off. Get boost pump on for number 1. Mixture increased. We'll check our fuel flow. We have it. Then fuel flow off. Start number 1. Get it rolling. Alright, we got a good start on number 1. Right at 1,000, and get our other alternator on. Get masters on. We get 1 light on there for the landing lights. Let's see, we got the GTN on, and the temperatures out here right now is about 59 degrees. Turn the autopilot on as well. Let's turn fuel boost pump back off. Alright, gyro's good. We are wrecked on the artificial horizon there. Gyro's good. Actually, where is that at? Alright, we are at 5. We're good there. Alright, now we're going to lean for taxi. I'll leave that where it's at. No, go back. Alright. From what I've seen, it's around 2.0 on the fuel. I need you to stay in the lean position. Yeah, like right there. Let's get back up to 1,000. We're off slightly. Alright, about right there. Alright, looks like we're leaned out. Normally, from what I've seen, is about 2 is right on the money. Alright, so let's see. We're good there. Warm up at 1,000. Check temps. Again, temps are good. They're getting into the green there. All pressures in the green. Fuel pressure's in the green. Alright, engine temp's good. Props full forward. Mixture's rich. Throttle. Oh, that's going to be on our run up. We'll do that. Alright, let's get some things going here. Set that to auto on. If we need it, turn that back off. Alright, that's good. Let's test our annunciator panels. We're good there. Autopilot, we'll test it as well. Good there. There's another switch here. Also, we can test our gear lights, make sure they're good. Press that in. These 3 are already on. And the cool thing about this, the same thing in the Bonanza that I used to fly. If you turn it, it dims the light. So at night, you can basically dim the lights so they're not so bright by just rotating it. Alright, we got GPS on, autopilot's on. Let's actually turn autopilot on and test it. Heading mode is what we're on. Actually, let's go heading mode. And move the needle there, make sure it's turning in the direction of which it's supposed to turn. We got our heading bug, our flight director moving with it as well. And then if we kill the autopilot, it's off, but for some reason this one doesn't snap back. Most autopilots, the yoke moves back to neutral. So let's turn it on again, and then we're going to pull the circuit breaker, make sure the circuit breaker works. We got on the autopilot. We'll pull the second circuit breaker here. I gotta move over here. This stuff's not in a great place. Autopilot circuit breaker pulled, and autopilot is off. Provide power back to it. We're good there. Alright, so we know the circuit breaker works. That's good, that's on. Alright, cabin temps 57. Let's close these vents. We're going to put our A&R headset on as well. Kind of quieten it up in here a little bit. Alright, we're looking good there. Alright, let's go to our flight plan. We're going to import our flight plan here as well. Import from SimBrief. Alright, yep, MSY to TLH. That's where we are going. Alright, and there's the rest of it, Victor 198. And that all checks out. Alright. We'll get off the ground here and into the air here pretty quickly if we can. Cruise altitude is going to be 9,000 feet. Let's see, that's that 9,000, 9,000. We're not going to be on VLOC, we'll be on GPS. Let's go back. Map. CDI will be GPS as well. And let's see. We got weather on, traffic's on. Not seeing any traffic. Oh, let me see. Oh, let me put this in. KTLH. Alright, that checks. Yeah, we only got like 5 aircraft around this. Right now, not much going on. We're going to call and pick up our IFR clearance here as well. And I finally did get my charts working here. No, not for there. We need it for where we are. Enter airport charts. Geez, that chart's not very. All right, we go full screen here. Alright, so we are currently at Signature. Let's start, my yoke was moving. Alright, so MSY, we got A. This is going to be 2755. Let's do that. And transfer. Let's pick that up.
Y altitude minus 400 feet. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions.
20.92.
Advise on initial contact. You have information Yankee. Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport, information Yankee.
Oh, 5.
1453 Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 11, 2. Wind 360 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, solid overcast at 1600 feet.
Yep, sounds about right.
Temperature 13. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3013.
I didn't mean to transfer that.
Density altitude minus 400 feet. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions.
Oh, 3013.
Advise on initial contact you have information Yankee.
3013. It's about right there. Alright, manifold pressure's good. It's good there. Let me see. I don't think I can move this anywhere further right. I can move it down to right there. That works. That's out the way. Alright, hydraulic pressure's good. Things in the green so far. Alright, so there's our chart that we'll be doing. I saw it say split. Oh yeah, it did. Alright, we got our information in place. We'll get the tower frequency up once we get our IFR clearance here and then go from there. And then of course if we have to return here, we'll return here on the ILS. Man, is that FlexJet over there? Somebody over there. Let's see. Hello, Louis Armstrong. Clearance. Compassion Flight 4219, looking to pick up IFR clearance to Tallahassee.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
I'm sure he'll give us something else. We get auto trim on too.
Compassion 4219, New Orleans clearance, cleared to Tallahassee. Radar vectors Harvey, New Orleans. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 9,000. Departure on 123.85, squawk 7442. Expect runway 2.
Alright, cleared to Tallahassee via radar vectors HRV. Then is filed. Climb, maintain 9,000. Departures on 23.85. We'll squawk 7442 and expect runway 2. Compassion Flight 4219. And yeah, I'll update my
Compassion 4219, read back correct.
I'm gonna update my stream title at the end of the stream. Go out to reporting 7442. Alright, we got that in place. Let's see, enter. Alright, 7442. We're going to HRV. Let's go back here. Let's go map. Put that one on for there. And flight plan HRV. Point info, frequency 114. We'll get that in place, throw that up there. So we got the manual VOR as well as the GPS. And I think we got a DME here. We do. Throw that on. Alright, we got our, we'll switch over to ground and then we'll get tower here. Which is tower frequency. It's gonna be 19.5. Oh, keep forgetting I don't need to transfer. Alright, 19.5 and then departure's actually 135.15. I don't know why they give us the wrong ones. They always give a different number than what's actually on the chart. It's always some random 118 number. Oh, no, hold on. They gave us 2385. That's still not either of these departure frequencies, though. We'll go with what they give us. If that's what they give us, that's what we'll take. Alright, map. See, we don't need any of those. Everything else looks to be good. That's our track. Direction of track is 001. We're always north up. That's not 001 track. HRV 16. We're tracking 195. That's not right. Why would it be 001? Aviation 15. Just going off of how this is already set. Alright, let's go to flight plan and put the flight plan in. Wrong thing. Saying the same thing, 001. That's not a north track. That's weird, it's giving a north track to HRV. Alright, I can see that. We're at MSY, we're going to HRV here. That would be like a 150 track. Alright, well, I'm not listening to that. We'll set runway heading for now and see what they give us from there. Alright, 002 it says. Oh no, runway 2. Yeah, it'll be 020. We'll set that, and then we'll actually I'm gonna set what I know it should be, and that's 150, about a 150 heading. Let me see what my alright, HRV says 118. That's what we're gonna set for course. 120 will be there. Well, then we'll set runway heading here. Should be 020. Alright, that said. Alright, so we got ground, we got tower up. We'll get departure frequency in shortly. We're good there. Let's see, is defrost on? Defrost is on. Get engine heat on a little bit. Get it a little warmer in here as well. Is it already fogging up in here? These was keeping the frost out. I mean the keep it from steaming up in here. Alright, so we got that going. We'll do the engine run up here shortly. Alright, let's go with my brakes. We got doors, windows closed and locked. Nav lights on. We'll set the GPS. We'll leave it on heading mode and altitude mode. We'll get it on shortly. Probably should have played around with this altitude hold too before taking it up in IMC. We may not set that then until we get moving. We'll get up here to the hold short and do the run up here. Got some good camera angles too. This airplane runs so smooth. Alright, we'll do our engine run up here. And we'll call for taxi from the ramp. Let me see where we're going for runway 2. Alright, we'll have a little bit of a taxi to get to runway 2. We'll have to cross a couple runways to get there. Alright, let's set the parking brake. Just wanted to get from right there in that area. Alright, let's see, engine run up. Alright, mixture full rich. Throttle to 1500. Alright, manifold pressure increase. We have fuel flow and vacuum pump still looks good. Amps are good. Temps are all in the green for both, and pressure's in the green. And fuel pressure is good as well. And in the green. Let's see, I'm pretty sure it's the same as what I already know it to be. Full rich. Throttle instruments, alternator check, we got 28 volts. That's prop voltage. Let's see, where's our volts? Over here, amps. We're a little bit over 20. We'll test the alternator there on both. We got alternator light left and right on. We're good there. Let's check our magnetos. We'll pay attention to RPM. We got left. We got a drop. We'll go back to both. Increases, then right. Drop there, but good. We got no stutters. We'll check the right engine as well. Left. Get a drop. Back to both. Right, check. And it's stable. We'll lean it back out to. Let's see. Props will cycle. Props will do one and then the other. One. Alright, we get a drop in RPM. Do it again. We'll look back at manifold pressure. We should get an increase in manifold pressure. We do. And the oil pressure should drop as well. We'll go one more. We got a drop in oil pressure. That was number one. We'll check number two. Not much of a drop. RPM will go further. Alright, there we go. Manifold pressure increase. And we'll look at oil pressure drop. And we got a drop there. Alright, we're good on both of those. And magnetos tested already. Gyro pressure good as well. Alright, bring it back down to an idle. Alright, we still got a running engine at idle. We look good. Bring back up to 1,000 RPM. Lean it back out for taxi. Alright, about 2 gallons. Alright, we're good there. Alright, what was our information?
R53 Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 11, 2. Wind 360 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, solid overcast at 1600 feet. Temperature 13. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3013. Density altitude -400 feet. Advise on initial contact. You have information Oscar.
Alright, information Oscar. Louis Armstrong ground, Compassion Flight 4219. We're at signature ramp, holding short of Golf. With information Oscar, ready to taxi runway 02.
Compassion 4219, New Orleans ground, runway 2 taxi via Golf 5, Golf, hold short of runway 29er, then Sierra, Whiskey.
Alright, runway 2 taxi via Golf 5, Golf, hold short of runway 29, then Sierra, Whiskey, Compassion Flight 4219. Alright, Golf 5, he says, which is where we are. It says 3 here. Yeah, that says 3, but that's where he's referring to. In Golf, Sierra, so we're going to make a left here on Golf, a right on Sierra, and then hold short. But it says, oh yeah, on Sierra we'll hold short of 29. Hold on, let me make sure I'm seeing that correctly. From where we are, Golf, Yeah, that's right. Sierra holds short of 29. We'll cross that on Sierra. All right. Let's go. All right. We'll get strobes on shortly. All right. Let's test some things. Right brake. Left brake. It's good. Alright, turn coordinate is turning with the turn. Ball is opposite. Heading indicator. Our HSI is turning with the compass. Lines up. We got 0 on the vertical speed. And airspeeds at 0. Alright, we're clear right and left. It's gonna send us around the terminal to get there. But yeah, we're at Signature FBO. We'll be then going to we'll be arriving in Tallahassee at Millionaire FBO. Now the only other thing as well is we're using the default for Tallahassee. There's a payware version. I didn't want to buy it though, but they have one. So we'll be landing at the default Tallahassee today. Aerostar is a monster, man. I like this airplane. So yeah, we're looking to go into the clouds around 1,600 feet and should be breaking out around 4,500 feet. Going up here, we got to go to Sierra. And when we switch over to tower, we'll get approach on standby. got traffic landing there. Alright, we're at Sierra. We're gonna make this right on Sierra. Alright, clear left. Got Delta landing. It's marginal here. Alright, we'll switch over to tower now because they're going to give us clearance across. And tower, compassion flight 4219. We're holding short runway 29er on Sierra.
Compassion 4219, New Orleans Tower, runway 2, wind 350 at 7. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Tower, compassion flight 4219. We're holding short runway 29. We need to cross. We're not ready for takeoff.
Compassion 4219, cross runway 29er via Sierra, hold short of runway 2.
Alright, we'll cross runway 29 on Sierra and hold short of runway 2, compassion flight 4219. Clear right and left. Alright, now it's updating my direction to take. It's gonna be 124 is what it says. We'll go with that. Alright, still clear that way and this way. Alright, now it's MSY departure. Yeah, I sent overcast 1600. We'll see when we get into the bases if that stand true. All right, we got 2 here at the hold short of Sierra. Alright, we are lights, cameras, action, almost lights, camera, action. Lights, strobe lights on. We'll get pitot heat on. I still says the same. Let me turn cabin heat on. Alright, controls, free and that's one thing we forgot to do. Right, up, left down, left up, right down. We can see the tail from here up, forward, that was aft, and we'll do rudder check right, left, free and clear. Alright, mixture is going full forward, fuel selectors are on, prop is full forward, boost pumps coming on. It's 2 and 1. Instruments checked, radios are set, flaps are 0, trim is set, pitot heat. So we may have to trim up 1 notch the amount of people we have in here. Alright, we'll go 1 there. Pitot heat is on, parking brake release, throttle full forward is what it'll be. And then we'll dial it back to 2424. And tower, compassion flight 4219, holding short runway 2, ready for departure.
Compassion 4219, runway 2, winds 360 at 3. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Alright, copy the winds. Fly runway heading. Clear for takeoff runway 2. Compassion flight 4219. Alright, approaching is clear. 2 is clear, and the departure end looks clear. Let's see if we still got this GA IFR. Alright, let's go. Alright, full power. Set. Airspeed's alive. Engine instruments look good, and there's 100 knots. We'll rotate. Slightly get off the ground there. We got positive rate of climb. Gear up. Now that's a nice sight. That was very smooth. Nice. We got a clean climb rate going. Coming up on 1,000 feet.
4219, contact departure.
Over to departure, compassion flight 4219. I get back on runway heading. And departure, compassion flight 4219, passing 1,000, climbing 9,000, runway heading.
Compassion 4219, New Orleans approach, radar contact, climb and maintain 9,000, turn right heading 130, vectors to Harvey, New Orleans, then on course.
Climb and maintain 9,000, right turn to 130, compassion flight 4219. Alright, we'll come back to 24 and 24. Get that up, and then 24 on the prop. Right about right there. Yeah, it's about 130. I didn't even see what our cloud basis was there. I would went a little bit past 130. That's 130, about right there. All right. Watch our power settings. We're in it. We got 50 degrees where we are. Broke out around 3,800. And departure, compassion flight 4219, looks like tops is around 3,800.
Compassion 4219, copy, tops around 3800 noted.
Power there. Start to lean here. Not too much.
Compassion 4219, direct Harvey, New Orleans, then is filed, please.
All right, direct to Harvey, then is filed Compassion Flight 4219. All right, passing 5,000. All right, let's turn the autopilot on. I'm gonna go nav mode. I'm gonna continue climbing. We're doing it's about 500 feet a minute. Let's go a little bit higher. With 9 nautical miles from. Oh, I forgot to start the clock. And keep an eye on our manifold pressure. We lose 2 inches every 1,000 feet. Watch our RPMs. What's wrong one? All right, we're good there. Past 6,000, we're looking good. It is 50 degrees still. Climbing up to 9,000. Everything looks good. And it's 52 degrees in here. I don't know why it's so cold. Oh, let's close these. We don't need that air coming in now. We'll get that open some more. Climbing through 7,000. Ah, see, they're asking for bases and tops. I forgot the bases. All right, watch our manifold pressure. All right, we're at full power now. And let's see, climb checklist. All right, wheels, brakes. Brake ground, I guess. No, that wouldn't be spelled that way. Gears up, flaps. We didn't even use flaps. We're good. Climb. Max power climb is, a max climb is 122 knots. Doing like 140. Let's go up a little bit higher. All right, we're almost 9,000 feet anyway. Fuel pumps off. We're 24 and 24. Well, we're less than 24 on the manifold pressure. Trim for 122 to 160. All right. Got attitude, nav mode. Level off here. Let's see, we shouldn't be turning right. Are we turning right? And altitude hold. Get back below that. Kind of blew that. That's not that great. Should have been an earlier turn than what it was. If that was going to happen that way. Let's see, 060. 067. It kind of blew that. All right, we're at 9,000. This airplane's beautiful. Lovely aircraft. All right, we're making our way to Tallahassee. Our GPS Connect is coming back in. Let's lean. Yeah, 'cause we should be burning about 32 gallons an hour here. That AGT. Richard Peak. Looks like we're burning a little better than expected. All right, we're at 9,000 now. We're on track and on course. All right, power set, mixture set, fuel quantity. We're monitoring it. Look good here. Fuel pumps are off. Fuel pressure is checked. Engine gauge is checked. And we're all in the green. All looks good. Yeah, it's about, what, yeah, still 50 degrees up here. It's not too bad. I don't know why it's 50 degrees in the airplane, though. I was having this trouble the other night. I was testing this, trying to figure out what was causing the... I know all three of these don't need to be opened. Air feels like that's not the right one. That's air, temperature, and defrost. Oh, hold on. I think the fan's supposed to be on. I think. Alright, altitude hold. Just feed. Next waypoint is Pearl. Then Mini. I feel like I should be seeing some traffic around me though. Ah, there was some. Altimeter check.
Compassion 4219, altimeter 3016.
And 3016, compassion flight 4219. Alright, says we should be there an hour 25 minutes. We're kind of riding the coast of Louisiana. See, as you guys can see here, where we're going, how it's looking. Actually burning pretty good on the fuel. We're only burning about 23 gallons per hour now. At 10,000 it's supposed to be like around 32. Let's see. You can see temperatures on here. I think you can. Let me see something. Let's go utilities. Map. Let's see, fuel planning wise, VNAV. They'll give us our descent, ATC. It's a little bumpy up here. Oh, you know what? Hold on, ATC. Let's see, in range, ATC. Fort Worth Center, Atlanta Center. Should be near Houston Center as well right now. It's interesting they don't give us that. That's cool. That's a feature though. All right, we're doing about 75 knots. How about 170? Let's see. Options. I don't think it's here. It's another screen where you can change these things on screen. Oh, hold on. I think it's here. Let's see. Constraints. Ah, there we go. Change fields. Track, distance, ground speed. I don't care about that. Let's see. Flow. Winds. Now let's get winds.
Passenger 4219, contact Gulfport approach on 124.6.
Wrong thing. Over to 124.6, compassion flight 4219. Hello, Gulfport approach, compassion flight 4219, level 9,000.
4219, Gulfport approach, good morning, Lakeshore, altimeter 3012.
3012, compassion flight 4219. And operations, we are on our way to Tallahassee. Everything seems to be fine here.
Got it, Hatchet. Everything's smooth sailing from here. By the way, remember our last mission with Robert Hendershot flying neonatal supplies from San Antonio? That was quite the day.
That was quite the... Oops, wrong one. That was quite the day. It was that was a good flight as well.
Compassion 4219, good morning.
Roger, Hatchet.
All right, we're looking good here. So like I said, it's going to be IFR around the time we land in Florida as well. So this is one of those times where we get the beautiful skies, but we see nothing for the most part. So this could be a beautiful flight looking at some landscape, but instead we get to see beautiful clouds. And that's about it. So we'll say we went from Louisiana to Florida, we just didn't see any of it. I really like this airplane. It's a very stable airplane for it to be in Microsoft. Very stable. There's no icing conditions either along our way. As we see at 9,000 feet, we're still at 50 degrees, so we won't be dealing with any icing conditions even during a descent. But again, it's showing IFR over the airport there. Let me see, where's my radio 2? Oh, that was ATIS. Throw that there. We'll monitor that. All right, we're looking good. No troubles here from what we see. Fuel flow's good. Is it warming up? It's even colder in here. How is it even colder in here? I'm not understanding. That says defrost. Oh, that's off. Maybe that needs to be on for all of that. That's off. That's encased into that area there. So let's see. Maybe we leave that on. That should help it start to warm up in here. And we're planning for the RNAV approach, so we'll be doing the LPV approach into Tallahassee. We got 30 amps, 30 volts. No, it is amps. It's like around 30. Let's see if it warms up in here. I don't know that it will. It is cold in here. Let's close that. I feel like that would be closed as well. It says pull for on. Alright, we'll see if it warms up in here, but it's definitely cold in here. Direction take 068. We're on that heading already, and 2, 1. You just keep straight. Alright, we're coming up on Dogma. This is beautiful. I love these the open panels above. Hey, and we can see the airplane up there above us. We're doing 208 knots across the ground at 9,000 feet. Like I said, our ETE estimated time en route to hours 16 minutes. Alright, now it's showing we're gonna land at around 11:30 Central Time, 12:30 East Coast time. I really do like this aircraft. This aircraft is very nice. And I've been wanting to fly it, so having this mission from Say Intentions is definitely pretty cool. But yeah, we shouldn't have an issue getting into Tallahassee. We should break out about 500 feet above the ground. Or about 800 feet, because it's again, IFR is around 900 feet right now. Oh, I gotta turn defrost back on. It's frosting up in here. Oh, it is on. Why is it getting frosty in here? And it's getting colder. Let's close that then. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. All right, there's that. But why is it getting colder is the question. Somebody was asking this question as well in the in their forum, but I don't know, it's kind of iffy on how to actually warm the cabin up. Alright, we're getting further away. Let's see. Oh yeah, these are altitude constraints. That's cool. So that's pretty much our route here and to Tallahassee. I was last night when I was planning this, I was thinking that we could, you know, eventually just cancel IFR and just go direct, but it's IFR all the way here, so it's not gonna make a difference. We're gonna have to stay on this IFR flight plan all the way in. Oh, you're at work. How's that been going for you? I forgot about that. You're at work today. How's work been going for you? I know you say you're busy. So whenever you're able to answer, that's cool. Looking good. And there's that defrost crud again. Alright, let's turn that off because that's not helping. And it clearly isn't getting warmer in here. Let's turn the blower back on and turn this air on. See if that helps. I need to have this fan on too then. Got these, but they don't actually do anything. Yeah, so the turtles are behind here in the cargo. Again, we got a passenger here, 2 behind us, and again we're right in CG, what we should be, right within CG limit, looking good. Let me update that, make sure that's good. Yeah, so myself, passenger here, passenger there, and then our turtles are in the cargo, right at that limit in the cargo area. I'm sure it being dark back there ought to help keep them calm. We're at 5390 on the weight right now. We got a tailwind, so that's nice. We got about 4 knots on the tail. 10 mile viz where we are currently. 48 Fahrenheit, no precept. Get approach set up there, controls. Yeah, everything else is good. Let's see if we take the headphones out, if it's really making a difference. Yeah, it's a slight difference. You can hear the engine is a little bit more. So maybe we turn defrost off and cabin heater on. Let's turn air off as well, blowers on. Because that says cabin heater, but I don't know if this thing actually works well. Kind of see what the engine's doing. Where is it at here? Yeah, I've noticed even like on Black Square, which everyone knows, they have this kind of stuff here where you can see what the engines are doing. I don't really look at this because it's unrealistic. No aircraft really have this kind of stuff in it. You have more things like this to see what it's doing and you're listening for. You don't really see these things. You don't have access to a program to show you this kind of stuff. So it's cool, but I'd rather not look at it. It kind of gives away the paying attention and listening to the engine and listening to the aircraft of what it's doing, to know that it's doing what it's supposed to. Everything is working like it's supposed to, and making you pay attention to your instruments rather than looking at a diagram that's telling you exactly what's what, tell you exactly what fails. That's the other cool thing about having the more realistic gauges. So you'd have to listen to the airplane, have to pay attention to the gauges, know what's going on with the airplane. Alright, we're going to Saint, 9 miles from there. We're doing 207 across the ground. Again, we are at full power on the throttles. We're doing about 172 indicated. Monitoring 121.5. We're on with Gulfport approach right now. Let me see, do we have another, we do have another VOR coming up. Let's get that one set up. CEW.
Smash 4219, contact mobile approach on 121.0.
Alright, we'll contact mobile approach on 121.0, compassion flight 4219. 121 nothing. And mobile approach, compassion flight 4219, level 9,000.
Compassion 4219, mobile approach. Good morning, Pascagoula, altimeter 3012.
I don't have a frequency with them. And altimeter 3012, compassion flight 4219. CWVOR, 95 miles from. (204) 1625 ETA. 1652. 10:25 a.m. is 16:26 Zulu time. Bouncy. And approach compassion flight 4219, just a pilot report. We are 9 miles southwest of the Saint intersection. 9,000 feet, we're getting light chop here. Negative icing.
Compassion 4219, copy pilot report, light chop, negative icing, 9 miles southwest of Saint intersection at 9,000 feet.
Let's plan for our, let's see, procedure, approach, planning for 09 or RNAV approach. Zoom out. It's going to be a straight in approach. Vectors, let's see. Oh, it says runway 9 is closed. Probably should have looked at our NOTAMs. 27's closed, we can do 36. Less Zulu. Got RNAV 18. That's probably what we'll do. Let's see, what are the winds? Winds are to the north. I know where they are landing there. Anybody's flying in and out of there. Oh, you know what? Let me see something. Let's see. Let me see. Is it closed? It's closed. Yeah, I think we're going to end up having to plan for the 3-6 approach. Alright, let's go back then. We're going to plan for the RNAV 3-6. Let's change that. Via ATYP or something. We'll just load it. We're ready. That's where we'll go to. That's light chop. We're not getting any fluctuations in vertical speed or our speed. You're starting to see some kind of viewage. Alright, so I'll show you guys the chart. See, I don't think I can bring charts in right here. Let's get next rad on. Traffic. That's why I haven't seen no traffic. It's not, was it selected? We don't need NDBs on. Alright, back. We should start to see traffic now. Charts. KTLH, Tallahassee, that checks. Approach, actually no, go back. Wrong thing. Alright, so let's get our 8. It's going to be 1945. We'll get that in here. Have that on standby. And we'll get handed off as needed. But yeah, we'll be planning for runway 36 here. The F-bill we're parking at is going to be Millionaire right here. Is the plan. And runway 927 is closed, so that's what we'll plan for. We got a lot of runway, and again we got a approach lighting system as well, so we'll be good with that. I didn't mean to go all the way out. Charts and the approach. It's going to be the RNAV 36. Alright, will be final approach course 004. Bupia is the final approach fix. And LPV is down to 262. That's even lower, so we'll be even better. But like I said, we should break out much sooner than that if the ceilings stay at 900 feet. We should be getting over the Tallahassee approach. And then tower 18.7, ground 21.9. We were about that on the ground. 30 nautical miles of the initial approach fix. Highest obstacles northeast of the field. We're planning to intercept here. We got to go to the missed approach point is Sigay. And it'll be a teardrop entry, right turns, that checks out. Hold to. Should be pretty smooth sailing for us though. I think we are north up, aren't we? Okay, yeah. Oh. Our fuel looks good. Like I said, just a little bumpy up here. Nothing crazy. Let's put our headphones back in. Holy cow, it's hot in here. Alright, we finally figured that out. It's 108 degrees in this thing. Alright, we figured that out. Alright, so those have to be off. Ooh, close that. It is way hotter in here. Alright, so I assume, let's turn fan off too. I think that'll take some of the power off too there. Jeez Louise, it got hot in here. Yeah, we'll leave the fan off. We'll leave heat on. See how that works out. And then we'll just open that one back up. But it definitely warmed it up in here. Jeez Louise, we're burning up. 107 in the cabin. Alright, so right now we got 5 hours of flight time. We're doing true airspeed of 234, ground speed 237. So right now we only got about a 3-knot tailwind. We can cover 1,100 statute miles. Fuel economy right now we're doing 23.3. Yeah, that's what we're seeing here. And let's see, 204 knots. Oh, that's in miles per hour. I forgot they have that in miles per hour. 203, 205, we got 1,000 nautical miles we can cover. We're doing about 10.2 miles per gallon and 8.8 nautical miles per gallon. We're looking good. Our cruise up to 24 on a manifold pressure to 2,000 to 2,400, and lean until AGT peaks. Normal enrich until 50 FPS. Fahrenheit drop. Best power enrich until 100. Max at 20, 175. Full flaps 140. Gear extension below 157. One thing I can't believe is the nose. Normally when you got a 2-engine aircraft, the nose is wide open for some cargo in most aircraft. These are getting 72 FPS, 74. This airplane's lovely. That's just tower. That doesn't work either. That's downtown. Alright, that's our route. And also, like I said, the mission and what's taking place today is in the description of the video. So if you guys want to...
4219, contact mobile approach on 118.5.
Over to 118.5, Compassion Flight 4219. Thank you. And mobile approach, Compassion Flight 4219, 900,000.
Compassion 4219, mobile approach. Good morning, Walnut Hill, altimeter 3012.
3012, Compassion 4219. Yeah, that's still the same. What's it doing? It's not supposed to be messing with that. It's on nav mode. That should not be making the airplane turn. Why is my course making the airplane deviate? It's on nav and altitude. Well, that's weird. My course heading should not mess with that. That's very weird. Alright, we're on GPS. Nav 1. Don't really need, and we're on GPS here. It should be following the GPS, not a course heading. That's interesting that it's doing that. And if anything, it should follow the heading bug, not the course.
Passion 4219, contact Pensacola approach on 127.35.
Alright, over to Pensacola approach on 27.35, Compassion 4219. Hello, Pensacola approach, Compassion 4219, 900,000.
Compassion 4219, Pensacola approach, good morning, Century, altimeter 3012.
3012, Compassion 4219. That's weird though. It shouldn't be doing that, because see, now it's not. Let me see if I go off GPS. Let's go back to GPS and see will it get back on course. Because it should be following the GPS, not my course. So that's weird that it's following the course. Let's see, DG slave maybe to the GPS. Nope, that's still doing what it wants. It's like my flight director's following my course instead of the GPS. Alright, it's 73 in here now. We'll just crack that. That's comfortable there. But this is weird. It should not be tracking the course at all. My flight director should be, this should be moving with the waypoint from the GPS. Am I missing something here? That doesn't make sense. Nope, that still messes with that, even though it should not be. That's interesting. Let me see, I'm gonna check that form because that is interesting. Standard nav mode without GPS. Switch. Yeah, which we're using a GPS switch. We got that switch on. It should be following that. This is AI overview saying this. I don't know. Pilot to a community. The only thing the autopilot does in nav mode is that it tracks CDI. Okay, looks like somebody said something in May about it. Let me see. Does in nav mode is that it tracks CDI needle. If it's to the right, it turns right. If CDI is to the left, the aircraft turns left. That's all. It does not know direction of track or the course it's expected to fly or intercept. It does not have nav intercept feature. In GPS mode, the CDI needle position is driven by the magenta line, so in a way you do have magenta line tracking. If you are already flying on the line, the turn is approaching, the GPS will start moving the needle and the autopilot will follow. Okay, I guess that makes sense then. I knew that wasn't right. So I was like, that's not a real thing. If you activate direct to in the opposite direction to where the aircraft is going or try to intercept a different course, things may get crazy. The autopilot does not know the course you've selected on the HSI with the CDI knob. It's only for the visual reference for the pilot. It can be upside down, makes no difference. Directional change at a particular it won't track the turn very well, which is why we didn't get a good turn when we took off and was making that northeast turn out of off of HSV or HVS, I think it was that first VOR. That's why it took so long to make that turn. It makes sense. And of course the AP would follow the magenta line regardless. Yeah, that's why I was like, this isn't working out right. Alright, well, at least I know a little bit more about this now, and it's not a hiccup. Let's keep it on course then at least. All right, we got 50 minutes left, but we're starting to see something. We got scattered clouds now. At 61. Let's crack that open a little bit more. You know what? Maybe the fan needs to be on. Let's turn that back on. It's freaking burning up in here earlier. It's at 60 now. Yeah, we're definitely going to be flying this airplane a lot more as well. We can also put the iPad there in the drawer there, or in the pocket there, side pocket, and grab it back out. We can move this thing anywhere we want around here. It's very nice. All right, make sure our temp go back up. It's at 60 now. We need to get back up to a decent temp. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on the weather in Tallahassee. It's overcast 1200 now, so because it's warming up a little further, a little more outside, those bases, cloud bases start to rise because of the heat. So now we've gained now already an extra, 300 feet of the bases. So it's marginal VFR now. 10 statute miles. So and it's overcast. Let's see, TAF report. Yeah, it says broken 1,000 feet. That's an hour after we arrive. So if it stays at 1,200, we'll probably see that once we arrive in Tallahassee. Pensacola approach.
4219, good morning.
Yes, can we plan for the RNAV 36 approach into Tallahassee?
Compassion 4219, expect the RNAV runway 36 approach at Tallahassee.
Alright, we'll expect the RNAV GPS 36 approach into Tallahassee. Thank you, Compassion 4219. Oh, that was the other one to be able to test. It was this to test our marker lights. So also the cool thing, I don't know if you guys looked at the future track map from Say Intentions. They did a hour and a half.
4219, contact Eglin approach on 125.1.
All right, over to Eglin approach on 25.1, Compassion 4219. Eglin approach, Compassion 4219, level 900,000.
Compassion 4219, Eglin approach, good morning, Baker, altimeter 3015.
3015, Compassion 4219. All right, right there on the money. All right, yeah, we got scattered clouds here now. Looking good for us. But yeah, all this nose area, we should be putting some, having some cargo up there. But I guess not based on the CG, that's why that's not a thing. Because it's already forward heavy of an aircraft, looks like. We had to put quite a bit of cargo in the rear just to keep it within CG for us. But yeah, after this flight, I got to update the thumbnail. I forgot to change the aircraft type on the thumbnail. So yeah, I'll get that updated shortly. So yeah, if you guys didn't read the description, we for our mission details, we have Israel, Tyler, and Janier in the aircraft with us, transporting sea turtles, Snapper and Hawksbill from New Orleans to Tallahassee for rehabilitation. We departed from Signature FBO at Louis Armstrong, and we're going to Millionaire FBO in Tallahassee. The mission information is, organization is Turtles Fly 2, which is what's on the thumbnail. That's the organization. So we got 5 passengers total, 3 people and 2 turtles. Each person, which again, I hope they fine tune this a little bit more on these missions, because for every mission, almost every person weighs 180 pounds. So I hope they kind of fine-tune that and really give some different weights for everybody, because there's no 3 people that weigh exactly the same weight. But somehow all 3 people weigh 180 pounds. The sea turtles weigh 120 pounds each, which, like I said, was perfect for both of them going into the cargo area and being just fine back there. Again, I think the darkness kind of should keep them calm, so that's what we're looking at there. But that's our mission. That's what we're looking at, and the total weight for just those passengers was 780 pounds, and then you add me 190 pounds to the payload, and that's where we come out to 970 pounds. This aircraft has a useful load of 1,880 pounds. It's wicked. I think the trying to remember, I think the Bonanza had a useful load of like I think 1,100 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was like 1,100 pounds for the V-35 useful load. Like this is gonna dive way past it. It's not even lining up properly. It does dive way past it. It's weird. I feel like I shouldn't have messed with it. Alright, let's do this. Let's go direct to define. We're already past CEW as well. We'll get MAI in there. Set that. Swap.
Compassion 4219, expect the RNAV runway 9er approach into Tallahassee.
And Compassion 4219, unable to accept the runway 9 approach. That runway is closed. We were given an expectation of runway 36 RNAV approach.
Compassion 4219, runway 9er is closed. Expect the RNAV runway 36 approach at Tallahassee.
Copy that. We'll expect the RNAV runway 36 approach into Tallahassee. And can we expect the initial approach fix to be Alpha Tango Yankee India Papa? Let's see what they say. Probably won't say anything the way it just went in up there. Ah, now it's warm. Alright. That's definitely working. Let's drop that back in a little bit. Why is my stream kit disconnected? I've seen some people say that that's been happening. It should not be disconnected. Stay live. Oh, am I at the 2-hour mark? I am. Oh, so it's got this auto disconnecting. Let me do this. That's what people were saying. We'll just leave it for 24. Alright. So it turned off in 2 hours. There was something they was working on, but I thought that was like keeping it there for 2 hours after the flight ends. But that's period. Okay, well, looks like they fixed it. So that's why we're seeing this pop in a couple times. Alright, so I got it set for 24 hours. So I'll start utilizing that a little bit more and set that for a certain time. We'll probably set it for double whatever our flight time is so it doesn't just turn off on its own. Jeez, it's still getting hotter in here. Now 178. So we can go max flaps 20. Below 175. So that means we can go flaps 1, probably like 180 knots. I mean flaps 10 degrees. Before flaps extension is 140 knots. That's in the green arc here. July range is 122. Endurance is 105. Max crosswind 20 knots. So approach speed is about 140. About 122 is what it is, like 120. We'll roll it on. We got a lot of runway too to do that with. We're still 120 nautical miles out. Our fuel flow is still good. All right, over to 25.2, compassion 4219. Hello, approach, compassion 4219, level 900,000.
Compassion 4219, Kindle approach, good afternoon, Bonifay, altimeter 3012.
It's a little colder up here. It's now about 45 degrees. 3012, compassion 4219. 11 a.m. and 17:08 Zulu time. This airplane looks so good. Instruments all look good as well. 77. It is cooling down a little bit in here. It's almost, that's pretty perfect. On that waypoint choose. The GTN 750 is pretty nice. Alright, so we're not going to switch the CDI for the approach because we're doing the RNAV. Now, if the weather stays looking as it's showing, again, the ceilings are steady going up. It's now overcast 1,400 feet as of 18 minutes ago in Tallahassee. We may be able to VFR it in, do a visual, get in here to land. But yeah, what I was saying about the Sand Tension's future map, it's looking pretty promising. And if you guys watch that video, the Gen 3 AI voices sound so realistic. Sounds so good.
4219, contact Cairns approach on 125.4.
All right, over to Cairns approach on 25.4, Compassion 4219. Oops. Hello, approach Compassion 4219, level 900,000. It just sounds so good.
Compassion 4219, Cairns approach. Good afternoon, Shipley altimeter 3012.
3012 on the altimeter, Compassion 4219. It sounds so great. It sounds just amazing. It sounds very realistic. And then when they even put like a mood in with it, you could tell the controller was happy. Like he was happy to be at work. He was in a good mood. Like you can, it sounds so good where just listening to even a human voice, you can picture the expression on their face just by the tone of their voice, and that's what it had. Like you could tell it was, he was smiling, he sounded happy. I can't wait for those Gen 3 ATC voices to come out. it was, I mean, there was like, I could tell like a certain words and certain way the words sound. It still slightly sounded computerized, but I mean, it's very microscopic. You'd have to really be listening for it, and maybe even after flying with those voices for a while, you'll probably pick up on certain tones and certain way the words are stated. You'll be able to tell if it's, you know, you'll be able to tell a little bit, but for the most part, the voices sound so realistic. So I can't wait for them to come out with those Gen 3 AI voices. I think it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, it's more broken layer now as we get a little closer here to Florida. Well, we're actually in Florida already. Yeah, we'll be making our way that direction. I'm pretty sure they'll start to vector us here before we get toward the approach phase. They should vector us. Hopefully they'll vector us, let us fly the full approach. If not, we'll have to be ready. Alright, now it's a cool. Alright, so I know now I have the fan, the heater on, the blower, and just the middle knob will heat the aircraft up a little bit. I don't know why I got cabin lights off. They're off, but I have them set for the individual switch, so now they'll turn on when needed. It shouldn't use up any amperage even with the switch on. Let's see, cabin, we're sitting at like 22. Yeah, no, it didn't make a difference. I think it only make a difference once we actually turn a light on. It should increase. Nah, maybe a little bit. It's not using much. Alright. So we got those set. No amperage from the prop de-ice. We don't need it. It's off. And we're crossing MAI now. We'll start getting that from distance. The other crazy thing I was gonna say was, man, as I was planning this flight, a video came up on YouTube of this 21-year-old student pilot that was right over this area. He was near Gainesville area in a PA-28 Cherokee, I believe is what it was. It was terrible. I think this happened last year in 2023. With a kid who was still a student pilot, and I don't know if he was doing his short cross country or his long cross country, but he flew straight toward weather. I think he took off out of Ocala, I think, or maybe somewhere near MCO, and was going somewhere north. I don't know where he was going, but it was a crap ton of weather over Gainesville, Florida, and really just that whole northern part of the panhandle of Florida, and got caught in it. And it's wild. He was stuck in that weather for like 45 minutes while the controllers was trying to talk him, keep him calm, to try to get him out of the weather. And he was descending and ascending and stalling, and he couldn't tell. I mean, the weather was so bad he couldn't tell what any of his instruments was doing. So I could only 100% believe he was on steam gauges for sure. Definitely not any glass, because he was saying he lost all his instruments. Said he had an engine failure, but for the next 20 minutes he was still flying the airplane. He was still climbing. And you typically can't climb without stalling and falling with no engine. So I don't know, maybe the weather was pounding on the aircraft so heavy that he couldn't tell whether or not he was, whether the engine was even still running, but he was saying all of his instruments were showing incorrectly. So the controller was trying to get him to just watch his compass to see what the compass was telling him, and try to keep that level, and was trying to keep him to pay attention to his turn coordinator. Oh, let's get that up. Speaking of, let's switch these two.
NE0. Sky conditions, solid overcast at 1400 feet. Temperature 13. Dew point 10. Altimeter 3012. Density altitude minus 300 feet. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Flight inspection aircraft active in the area, expect delays. Advise on initial contact. You have information. India. Tallahassee Regional Airport, information India. 1653 Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 36, 27. Wind 040 at 7. Visibility 10.
Open though.
Sky conditions, solid overcast at 1400 feet. Temperature 13. Dew point 10. Altimeter 3012. Density altitude minus 300
clouds
feet.
are gonna, the cloud base is going to be about 1480
airport. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Turn right heading 145 vectors for the RNAV runway 9er approach. Altimeter 3012.
All right, descend and maintain 7,000 feet. We'll turn right to a heading of 145 for vectors to the actually unable for vectors for runway 9. We're planning for runway 36 RNAV approach, compassion 4219.
Compassion 4219, descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
All right, descend and maintain 7,000 feet, but also we're planning for runway 36 RNAV approach, compassion 4219.
Compassion 4219, contact Tallahassee approach on 128.7.
Over to 28.7, compassion 4219. Tallahassee approach, compassion 4219, descending out of 9,000 to 7,000, and expecting the RNAV approach for runway 36.
Compassion 4219, descend and maintain 4,000 feet, turn right, heading 160.
Compassion 4219, Tallahassee approach. Good afternoon, Tallahassee, altimeter 3012.
3012, and we'll descend to 4,000, right turn, heading to 160, compassion 4219. That's saying all kind of crap. So 145, he said. Switch to heading mode. And approach, just to confirm, we are planning for the RNAV runway 36 approach, correct? compassion 4219. Increase mixture slightly.
Compassion 4219 negative. Expect the RNAV runway 9er approach at Tallahassee.
Unable to expect the runway 19. We must have runway 36, compassion 4219. They're supposed to listen. They're not supposed to tell you otherwise.
4219, expect the RNAV runway 36 approach.
Thank you. All right, we'll expect the RNAV 36 approach, compassion 4219. Yeah, they have a setting where you're supposed to be able to tell it no, but for some reason they're still doing otherwise, and even on the screen it's still saying RNAV runway 9. So they're just gonna keep fighting with me here, and I know it, instead of giving me what I'm asking for. All right, let's activate the approach though. And he told me 160, wrong thing. To the clouds. All right, approach, boost pumps coming on. Mixture enriching, fuel selectors are on, and flaps will set 20 degrees below 175, and we're almost in the yellow arc. We're still good. And we'll watch that power as that manifold pressure is increasing. We don't want to get too fast. Out of 6,000. All right, and the course is going to be 004. It says. About right there. Again, minimums are 402, but I think we're going to be good. Yeah, minimums is 460. Actually, we'll leave that on. Yeah, we're on heading mode. I'll try power here. About 14 gallons an hour now. Let's set it to 15. We're at about 15. I think this is the airport right here off our left. It is. And Tallahassee approach, compassion 4219. We have the visual for runway 36.
Roger, visual for runway 36 noted.
We'd like to continue with the visual approach for runway 36, compassion 4219.
4219. Expect the visual approach for runway 36.
All right, approved for the visual approach, runway 36, compassion 4219. If I'm telling you I have the visual and you're going to tell me expect it, you're supposed to just give it. I was going to be 18.7. All right, hold 4,000. We get slowed down here too. So I'm gonna assume above 180 we can still do 10 degrees flaps. 10 degrees. Below 175 we can do 20. And approach, we would like to get cleared for the visual approach 36, compassion 4219. Flaps 20.
Compassion 4219, cleared for the visual approach, runway 36.
Clear for the visual approach, runway 36, compassion 4219. Jeez. Yeah, we got the runway.
4219, contact Tallahassee Tower on 118.7.
Over to Tallahassee Tower on 118.7, compassion 4219. Hello Tower, compassion flight 4219 on the visual for runway 36. All right, autopilot
4219, Tallahassee Tower, roger, continue approach runway 36.
All right, continue for the approach runway 36, compassion flight 4219.
Compassion 4219, Tallahassee Tower, wind 040 at 7. Runway 9er cleared to land. Caution bird activity.
Copy the winds, clear to land, runway 36, compassion flight 4219.
You approach runway 36.
Now watch our speed there. All right, we got gear down, 3 green. Lights are on. We're all squared away there. I can't believe that recording just froze up like that. We'll get flaps full down here. Mixture's full rich. Fuel is good. We got fuel tanks on. Boost pumps are on. Landing gear is down. Gas is on all tanks. Turn autopilot off. We don't need it. Carriage down. Mixture's full rich. Props will be going full forward here shortly. Let's go flaps 30. Alright, let's go props full forward. We've been cleared to land already. Flying it all the way to the ground. Again, gears down, 3 green, we're good. Beautiful. Try to hold that up, get the nose up. Let's bring flaps up. Give it some aerodynamic braking. Alright, flaps up, back to neutral. Alright guys, welcome to Tallahassee. .0.85 on the G-force. Not bad.
4219, welcome to Tallahassee. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Over the ground on .9er, Compassion 4219. Thanks for the help. Alright, flaps up. Let's get lights out. Strobe lights off. What is it? 78. We'll get heat and everything off. Fan blower off. Boost pumps off. Lean for taxi. Let's get back up to 1,000 on the RPM. I love the way this aircraft handles. Bring back to about 2 gallons per hour. There we go. Alright, after landing, props full forward. Flaps up, boost pumps off. Trim tab is neutral, almost neutral. Cabin heater off. Alright, we're good there. We'll get some air blowing through here. Hello, ground, Compassion 4219, clear of runway 36 on Alpha. We're going to be parking at Millionaire FBO.
Compassion 4219, Tallahassee ground, taxi to GA parking exam 301 via Alpha Alpha 4. Good day.
All right, we'll taxi to parking via Alpha 4. Good day, Compassion 4219.
Okay, what did that say again?
Actually, we'll be going down to Alpha 11. Yeah, that was some good flying right there. I like that. Come on. Yeah, I don't know where parking this is over here. I mean, for default, it's decent looking. We'll take it. It's a nice day to get some IFR flying in and finish out with some nice VFR. This is supposed to be Millionaire. I don't know, it's kind of weird because the guy who actually makes this scenery has it on FSTO and he has it at any builds. It's the same guy, but he's charging different prices for them. But I don't know if one's different from the other or more than the other. It's hard to tell. So I just decided to just not buy it and just fly into a default airport. We can park between these two guys. Well, for some reason this thing's acting. I hate that on GA stuff it removes these aircraft. We'll just park next to these guys. Alright, let's go park and brake on. Alright guys, so that'll do it. That was the flight for us today. We made it here. We still have, let's see, specifically fuel. We landed with 91 gallons of fuel, 547, so we burned about just under 300 pounds of fuel to get here. And CG, again, I think our turtles are fine. They probably don't even know that they're on the ground. That's how smooth we landed that. We'll take it. So let's get her shut down. We'll get masters off. Actually, let's check 21.5 first. Make sure we don't have any squawk codes going off. I mean, any well, I bet he's going to be landing. He's finna zip down. Or was he taking off? Maybe he was taking off. Doesn't look to be going that fast to been taking off. Yeah, he is taking off. It's 2,500. Alright, shut down checklist. Let's get to it. Alright, parking brake is set. Engine is idle. Cooled down for the most part of our taxi back. We get radios off. Let's pull our cord. Alright, we got nothing coming in on the what is it, ELT? No ELT sounds going off, so we go masters off. That's off, off, off there. Flaps are up. Boost pumps are off. Mixture to cutoff. does it, and magnetos to off. And we'll get landing light off. Those are already off. Pitot heat, I probably should already had off. Off. Battery off. We'll set wheel chocks. Pitot cover on. And I thought this one had engine cowling, the little ones that go into the engine cowlings. I guess not. Those are all good. Pitot covers on, wheel chocks on, parking brakes on. We'll get, okay, leave cabin vents open. They're fine. We can do a maintenance check real quick. See what looks, what for the next flight out. Everything's still in the green there. Engine inspect. Everything's still green there. We'll probably add some more oil sometime later. Number 2 inspect. Looks good. We got the same amount of engine oil there as well. That's off. That's off. Battery's fully charged. We're good on that. All right, that is it. We've delivered our and operations. We are complete and on the ground.
Roger that, Hatchet. Welcome to Tallahassee. Great job on the mission.
Close mission, please.
Mission closed, Hatchet. Everything went smoothly.
It's still showing the mission's there, though. Let me see if it shows, because the first one I did, it actually, they said it like right after I landed, mission complete. So let me see if this actually completes it out. I got 2 completed. It does show 2. All right. It's not giving me a chance to actually complete the flight, though. Last one it actually said it was completed, so I don't know if it's actually completed or not. I'd hate to lose it. It is shown on the board though that we made it here. It's not letting me say how the flight went either. It's not giving me that option. Let me call SkyOps just in case. Let's see. Let me turn these back on. And operations, Compassion Flight 4219, mission complete.
Great job on completing the mission. Your efforts are greatly appreciated.
I suppose. I don't know. I'll just hit new flight then. It doesn't give me the option like it's supposed to let me give feedback after the mission for some reason. I will shut that back off and that off. Yeah, guys, welcome to Tallahassee, Florida, where the weather is good. Let me see if this is actually where it's at. It still shows overcast 1400, and we're seeing mostly scattered. 1400. It could be that the weather hasn't updated here yet. Yeah, it's saying partly cloudy. Let's see. Shows few 3,000 now. That was as of 1453. Oh no, 1653. I want to say, why is it showing that older time? 1653 Zulu time. That's what it's showing. How old is mine? 1653 as well, but it's showing overcast. on the real world, it's not showing that here. It's saying few 3,000 feet. 1312. That's the same. I don't know if this is just more updated. Not, but ForeFlight is showing it as of 13 minutes ago. At 1737 Zulu. What is it? Specie just came out? Yeah, 737 Zulu is showing overcast 1,500 feet. Yeah, it just came out at 1737. Let's see if we refresh the weather, what it'll do. Yeah, now it's showing overcast. The sky should change now. Yep. Damn, this is what we should have been landing in. But it hasn't updated the Specie yet, though. Specie just came out at 1737, it says. And overcast 1,500 feet. I should have refreshed the weather while we were coming in on approach. We got Eagle landed. But either way, I'll take it. It was still a good flight. We still would have gotten in here no problem. I think what I'll start doing probably is just refreshing the weather on approach to make sure it's as up to date as possible. Yeah, it's showing the Specie now at 1737, but they're still showing overcast 1,400 instead of 1,500. But either way, the Aerostar is a very good plane. So if this plane flies as great as it does, I can definitely believe the Comanche flies just as good, and I can see why most people like the Comanche. But what I'm waiting for is what I've asked for, and will continue to kind of bug them about, is the V-35. I need them to bring that over to the sim so we have it in Microsoft. So this was a very, very fun flight. Stable aircraft like it should be. Flies very nice. Handles nice. Probably the better handling aircraft I've flown now in this sim, so I'll take it. But yeah, other than that, appreciate you guys hanging out, flying here with me to Tallahassee. I'm going to call it a day. It's about to be noon here my time, and I have to go to work. Be at work at 2. So I'll see you guys on our next flight going to, I think our next flight's going to Austin, which I may do tomorrow before work since we'll be pretty close. I mean, that'll be a short flight, so I may do that flight tomorrow because that's only 165 miles from Dallas to Austin. So we'll probably do that flight early in the morning or something, and go from there. So we'll see how that goes. If not, it'll be we may even do a late flight out of Dallas to Austin. Just depends on what time I get off work today. Today I'm handling gate boards, so it's probably going to be I probably should get off at a decent time unless we have a lot of late flights or return to gates or something at the end of the night, but we should be good. So other than that, I will see you guys on the next flight later.